Hello, folks. I'm Bob Kitchen, one of the owners here at Maple Hill Golf, and you're listening to the official podcast of Maple Hill, the Hill Unscripted. Every 2 weeks, I'll bring you the real talk from inside the golf world, insights, stories, and conversations that matter to you as a golfer and a valued part of the Maple Hill family. Today, I have my brother, Andy Kitchen. You've probably seen videos with him on there as well. He does a lot of our live stuff and all that, and we've got a list of stuff to talk about, and he just got back from an event that I want to get into, but first and foremost, Andy, I always try to. Well, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on. Glad to have you on the podcast.
Here. Yeah. Honored.
I always try to start off with what happened last week in the PGA Tour, and here's the question I have for you: is with this being Fleetwood's first win ever, do you think that if you would have told him this 2 years ago that you're going to go through a whole bunch of crap, but you're going to win the PGA Championship, the Tour Championship next year? Your first win ever and $10 million. Do you think he would have gone through all that? What do you think he would have signed up for?
I think he would.
I actually do too.
I think he would too. Not necessarily for financial reasons, but it's pretty much the biggest tournament out there, right? Shy of the majors.
Yeah.
It's the best of the best. You play all year to obviously get to that point and to be able to keep playing, right? As they eliminate people as you go.
Yeah.
And I think the losses, as frustrating as they are, make you mentally tougher, make you kind of want it more, make the victory sweeter, and to do it kind of at the biggest stage, last big tournament of the year, I think he has to be thrilled with it, and obviously the 800-pound gorilla's off his back, and people can stop talking about it, and then they start rolling into how good it was and the Ryder Cup and everything else.
Yeah, and winning by 3, kind of a commanding win, right? Mm-hmm. And did you happen to see any of the comments that his co-workers or the other tour players made after the event?
No. I can imagine that they were probably very happy for him, and just
everyone loves
because everybody can understand the frustration and how hard golf is, and how you can get beat down mentally and whatnot. But I figured that's about what it would be.
Yeah. He seems to be kind of a man of the people, like a man of the locker room. I think everybody seems to like him, and the crowd certainly seems to like him. And I personally think that almost going through some hard times and seeing someone go through some hard times almost makes the crowd pull for you.
No question.
I really do. I think that they almost I'm not going to say enjoy watching you struggle, but like if they understand the struggle, then they appreciate the win that much more.
Correct.
I really believe that. I think everybody likes a comeback story, which this isn't that. This was a never won before story.
Right.
And
I think also like
stage.
Who hasn't ever choked in golf?
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody that's ever played has had a important putt, important shot, shot they really needed to make that they hit bad or they blew it or whatever, and you beat yourself up mentally about it. And so at the same time, when you do hit that good shot or make that big putt or whatever, whether it's with your buddies or golf league or with your family, who cares, right? It feels great regardless of the situation.
Yeah, everybody can relate to it. I think that's what you're saying. Like, done that. Like when I saw Scheffler the week before 3-putt from 15 feet. I was like, oh, he's human. I've done that. Scheffler's done it. He's the #1 player in the world. So anyhow, good for Tommy Fleetwood. I thought that was just awesome. What a great win, and winning by a fair amount in his first ever event, and winning the FedEx Cup and all the stuff that goes along with it. And that field the leaderboard was hot. Did you see? It was at the top. It was hot.
It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
Everybody was right there.
So speaking of hot events, the main thing I want to talk to you about, you went to the LIV event here in Michigan.
Yep. I went on Sunday.
Final day.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
I guess I'll walk you through it here briefly, but was curious about it, wanted to go, made the decision, went with a couple neighbors and our sons, and kind of didn't know necessarily what I was getting into. Obviously, I know some of the facts about the LIV and who plays in it and some of the unique things, but got there, was free parking, which was cool, shuttled in. You walk in, and instantly, background, I've been to a couple Ryder Cups. I've been to a few PGA events over the years, a few LPGA events, some senior events. I'm not a huge guy that goes to all that stuff all the time, but I've probably been to 8 or 10 things over the course of my life. Instantly felt more loose, more maybe relaxed party atmosphere, maybe not like people going crazy, but just music going and drink stands. And they had a thing called the Fan Village, and they had like simulator golf contests you could do. They had Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Oh, really?
They had throw the football through the whole thing. They had a burlap like bag slide thing, you know,
Really?
for kids and whatnot. Yes, and it was it was cool. The putting green was right there, and the players were on it, and they, like I said, they had music pumping the whole time, and it was surprisingly, I actually knew a few of the songs. I figured it'd be techno or stuff that somebody 30 or under needs to know, but it was it was cool. So anyway, decided we were going to camp out on hole 3, went out to hole 3. It was a par 3. We wanted to watch them hit in. And so there we are. So we get there 15 minutes before they start. So their big screens there were awesome. They were crystal clear. They were very informative of what's going on. That they were playing for the championship, the 3 main teams, which was, I can't even think of the names, but Bryson's team, Rahm's team, and Oosthuizen's team. That was really the main thing. So there's 4 guys on each of those. So those 12 guys were kind of the main focus. But everyone else was still playing for something for their team to take 4th, 5th, and individually and whatnot. But they explained it well. Had a countdown for the players on the range that they announced, like, you got to get off the range in 5 minutes. And then they said, you know, it's starting in this time. So anyway, before you know it, here's 12 golf carts buzzing behind me. Dustin Johnson, Sergio, Cam Smith, you know, all these guys going out for the shotgun start, which the shotgun start alone is amazing. And I was a fan of it because everybody's on the course at once, and you can kind of watch who you want to watch or watch a few groups come through. So anyway, as went to the start, it's 3, 2, 1, like a countdown. Fireworks are going off, and 4 guys parachute out of an airplane down onto the number 1 tee, which was absolutely amazing.
Right.
One was carrying a LIV flag, and the other 3 were carrying the flag of the 3 teams that were competing for the championship. So then from there, you know, the golf was good. They do play music the whole time, which me personally, I like that. It's not overly loud,
Blaring,
you know, where it would bother anybody. You can still talk and whatever. And it was funny, like the little quiet signs. They hold them up and it says "zip it," you know, instead of the PGA Tour with the more formal word "quiet" or whatever. Right. So just things like that. So yeah, you know, it was cool. Got to get close to the players. The crowd was decent, but I'd say less than, you know, certainly less than a Ryder Cup or you know, bigger PGA event or whatnot. But the players were cool. You know, they fist bumped the kids and this and that. Obviously, they weren't going to stop and do autographs because they're playing and they got to get to their next shot. But all in all, I was impressed. They beat that course up pretty good. When I say beat it up, they scored low. Right. The course was actually in very beautiful shape. It was a great course. But, I mean, I'm not even sure I saw a bogey.
Really?
Yeah, like literally. Like that par 3 I was watching was 182 with a bunch of wind. And I watched 12 guys come through, and it was 2 birdies and 10 pars. And Koepka's the only guy that missed the green, and it was by like 4 feet in the rough, and they chipped it to a foot and made pars.
Like all those names you just said, like John Rahm and DJ and Sergio and Koepka, like those are huge names. Like if it was a PGA Tour event, they'd probably get double the amount of participation from the crowd.
Oh, for sure. And I thought they did a good job too. Like one of the par 3s, kind of they have a party hole par 3, kind of like reminds you of the Phoenix Open. Yeah, it's not to that extent, but that par 3, they had the green was massive, and they had the pin right in front, kind of an easy pin. So I mean, guys were like, I watched 4 shots, and 3 of them I thought were going in. You know, they ended up hitting it 3 feet, 4 feet. I mean, they were just sticking it on that hole, but it's kind of fun because it was still like 140 or something. It was fun to watch them attack the pin like that.
So the only thing I personally don't like about the shotgun start, which I don't dislike what you're saying. I don't disagree, but like you don't get to see the leaders come in and that pressure at the end.
So correct, and that part is annoying. So what they did do in this event, this was the last event of the year. Right, I ended up finding that out, but the 4 groups of the guys that matter, they all started off 1. Oh. So those 4 finished in a row on 18.
Okay.
But then from there, everybody else was spread out throughout the course.
So they did have it. So they did. You could watch the last 4 groups come in.
Correct. They did that on purpose because it was, and I don't think that's normal, but it was the last tournament of the year, so they wanted to do it that way. Yeah. And I thought it was funny that Phil and Brooks had to start on hole 2. Like, no respect. You guys are starting on 2. Get in the cart. They got done with 18, and my friend's son was going to ask Phil for a glove, and then he was like, wait a minute, he still has 1 more hole to play. Still got to play 1. Can't give it away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, I was impressed. Overall, I was impressed. I didn't know what to think. I didn't come in as a hater, but I just came in with open eyes.
Well, you and I played that course when they were setting it up for the LIV in Chicago.
Yeah,
So we kind of saw a little bit about what the setup looks like and how much work goes into it, which is a ton.
Yep.
But actually being an event, what was the demographic of the crowd?
I would say a little bit younger.
Yeah.
I'd say a lot of, PGA events I've been to or like senior events is, 50 to 70-year-olds sitting on their sports seat.
Right.
There was definitely more of a younger crowd here. There was all ages and all.
There was
all
still
everybody,
grandmas and grandpas there.
There were, but definitely not as many.
A lot of them were your age and
Yeah,
younger.
I would say, and a lot of people from my eyes look like they were like in their 30s.
Okay.
Maybe slightly newer to golf type of people.
But since COVID, that's kind of been the biggest boom anyhow.
No question.
And LIV is probably
No question.
building off of that at least a little.
One other thing I thought was cool was you bought a ticket to get in, or in our case, thank you, Cleveland Strixon, for getting us tickets to get in. But
Right.
When you're in the event, the VIP areas, you can literally scan the QR code and upgrade your ticket and pay right there on the spot and walk in. So they had these, bar areas and fancy seating and all that, and then they have a guy sitting there and like literally, if you want to pay extra, you can literally do it on the spot. You scan it, hit pay, and then you can walk in.
Wow.
So you don't have to buy that ticket ahead of time, which I
Right.
thought was cool.
Yeah. So it's definitely a little more forward thinking and
No question.
A little
No
more
question.
aggressive.
No question. And they had Pat Perez, of course, is walking around announcing, and like from the video screens, like in certain spots on the course, his voice would come. Like he do like recaps.
Yeah.
Like, Hatton made this great putt, and Bryson just hit an amazing shot or whatever. That part was real cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to go and experience that. Did you guys stick around the whole time? Did you catch the ending?
We actually left before the exciting conclusion, just because we had been there from noon to probably 5:30, so we were just kind of out of gas. But we watched it from our phone.
When was the shotgun start at?
It started at 1.
At 1, so you got there a little bit before and
Yeah,
watched.
yeah, we got there at 12-ish.
And they're all
just to
wearing
kinda look
shorts.
around. Yeah, actually not many people were wearing shorts, but it was only 70 and it was windy, so it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
The pros,
it
though.
wasn't hot
Yeah.
weather. Yeah.
Huh.
That
Well,
helped make it really pleasant too. It wasn't 90 degrees.
Yeah, exactly right. That's great. And where it was at the Cardinal, but where
The
is
Cardinal,
that
that's
at?
in Plymouth.
Plymouth. Okay, all right.
It was 2-hour, 20-minute drive from here.
Yeah, so there's a lot of population around there.
There is, yeah. I mean, it's Metro Detroit, kind of south.
You know what a ticket actually cost?
$50.
It was 50.
$50 for general admission. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And parking was free.
Yep.
That's not terrible.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah. And the ticket's one day, or is it?
One day. Yep.
Yeah. So every day is $50 if you want to go.
Yep.
And it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They just
Yes,
play 3
correct. And I
rounds.
think usually they don't play Sundays. I think they usually play Thursday through Saturday, but for the championship they played Sunday.
Okay. All right.
That's what I understand.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I've never been to a LIV event. I kind of the ending of Happy Gilmore 2 I thought was probably
Yeah,
about
Maxi Golf. There was a lot of references to that.
Yeah.
Caddyshack quotes and Happy Gilmore quotes left and right.
Yeah, I figured as much. So, all right, enough about the LIV event. There's a few things on here that are questions that we've kind of gone over, but it's kind of like more of an interview about you and what you think, because a lot of people have already heard what I think. What's one piece of golf gear you think is overrated, and then the other end of the spectrum, what do you think is underrated? But start with overrated. What do you think is overrated?
Oh, geez, just a particular thing of gear.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think in some cases for some golfers, the laser rangefinder is overrated.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hear me out. Having the exact distance to the pin is great. Obviously, hardly anybody in the world does it matter, right? If it's 147 or 154, you're hitting the same club. But what I find is a lot of times, so you laser it, the pin's in the back, it says it's 180. And you grab your 180 club, but you hit it 185. Well, the pin was in the back, and now you're in the rough. Mm-hmm. Where I think a GPS for a lot of players is better. GPS says it's 150 to the front, 165 to the middle, 180 to the back. So you know the pin's in the back,
Right.
so you take the middle, add 5 yards, and that's what you hit.
Between the two.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Just like, and the same thing goes for the front. You put the pin in the front, it says 105, you hit it 100, now you're in the fringe.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think that front, middle, back is more helpful in a lot of cases,
Yeah.
assuming that you know where the pin position is on the green, front, middle, or back.
Agreed.
So I think a laser just, yeah.
We try to sell the laser to the more advanced player. The other good thing about a laser course, anything you can see, you can shoot.
Correct.
So the flag
Correct.
stick,
Correct.
but you got to put a little bit of intelligence.
Yeah,
with
and a lot
where
of
the flag
GPSs
stick is.
though have a lot of the hazard distances and those kind of things.
We
but
speaking of the devil, we played American Dunes yesterday, right? I took
Yeah,
mom and dad,
yeah.
and that number 14 or 15, that downhill par 3, that green is like 80 yards long. It's like a 5 or 6 club green.
Yeah, right.
You know, where the tee box matters, where the flagstick is matters a ton because that green's so massive. So there's a little bit of brains have to go into it. You have to understand like what Andy's talking about. So point well taken. What piece of golf gear you think is underrated?
Boy, that's a good question.
Underappreciated,
underrated. I particularly think, I don't know if I want to name like a specific club, but I think like that kind of 8-iron, 9-iron pitching wedge club. It's such an important club because those are kind of the easiest clubs to hit, in my opinion. I know when my golf goes sideways, which you've seen it and many people have seen it, and it can get bad. But when your golf is not good, trying to hit drivers and 5-irons and hybrids and fairway woods just does not help things at all. It goes bad. And a lot of times, in my case, you know, I'd say I'm playing bad or I'm having a rough day and I'm 230 out on a par 4 or par 5. Normally I'd be trying to juice a low iron or a hybrid or something up to the green where I'm like, okay, let's realize what's going on right now. Let's take a club that goes up in the air, that's shorter, that's easier to hit, because right now I can't hit anything. And I think those kind of clubs are good confidence builders for everybody. Of course, you know, better players typically don't get into those funks. They're not the kind of funks that us average and bad players get into, but just the clubs that have more loft, the club that has more confidence, the club that you can trust. You know, when I'm like in that 230-yard example, I'm already thinking, gosh, I'd love to get on in 2 from here. Right. Like, the heck with getting on in 1. That definitely will not happen. And I have confidence to kind of, you know, hit that club that just you pretty much count on hitting it good or at least decent every single time.
90%.
That's you know, thinking of a specific thing as gear goes. And the other thing, of course, I would say is the putter is obviously very important. And I think the putter has to suit your eye. And I'm a big fan of having multiple putters, because sometimes putters just don't suit your eye and you need to switch and make sure you got some kind of confidence with what's in your hand.
If any of our friends are listening to this, they'll definitely know you're a big believer in multiple putters in your bag. But
that's true.
You, I can't discredit that because it actually works for you and it does a good job for you. And you under the 14 club rule, you're allowed to have you can have 13 putters in the driver if you want to. So you can't argue with it. Next thing is, this was one, I think I talked to Dad about this in the podcast too. What's the one golf rule you'd change if you could?
I think without a shadow of a doubt, moving it out of a divot in the fairway.
Yeah.
I get where the argument is, hey, it's a fine line. Some guy might say, hey, that's a divot. And the next guy might say, oh, no, that's just a little impression in the grass. I think a clear-cut divot that is a chunk of sod out of the grass and or it's filled with sand, if that's a clear-cut situation, you should get a free drop or place it or whatever. Yeah. When you hit in your own fairway, there is nothing worse than hitting a great shot. And there's certain courses that have kind of collection areas, right? Right. Where drivers and all of a sudden everybody's ball kind of ends up in that same area and it gets beat up naturally. Yes. You know what I'm talking about, certain courses. It gets down in that area and it just inevitably is beat. But you hit a good drive, you hit it in the fairway, there's no reason you should have to hit it out of a divot.
I said this on the podcast before, but I said they'll never change the rule. How do you define a divot? But the point you're making is very accurate and very reasonable in the fact that if it's in the fairway, the ball's it's called fairway. Right. So the ball's supposed to be on a good lie. Right. That's why you hit it in the fairway. Right. So if you don't have a good lie and you ask your playing partner, hey, this looks like a depression, hey, this ball plugged, or it's sitting in yesterday's divot or a week-old divot or a month-old divot, what's the problem with taking it up, picking it, and dropping it? There's no advantage. You're not any closer to the hole because that's always the rule. Can't move it closer. So I couldn't agree more with you on the fact that who cares? Who cares? It's like being able to play out of a divot shouldn't be part of the skill set of golf. In the rough, it's the rough. It's the rough, dude. It's called the rough. It's supposed to be rough. So deal with it. But in the fairway, come on. Let's give the guy, it's called fairway for a reason. My own personal would be just as important to that, or maybe drives me even more crazy, is the out of bounds rule. We have to stroke in distance.
I literally was going to say that. I was like, I want to add one more thing.
Right. Yeah. The out of bounds rule, stroke in distance. Oh, you just pull hooked into somebody's house, tee it up and do it again. Hit their other window. smash that window out. You know, you already hit another one. Just for the love of God, move these people up and let them
drop it where it crossed in.
Add one, keep going
all the time,
always,
all the time. Reloading. You know, you play in a stroke play event where you got to hit it to the bottom and things start going sideways.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It can be a long day.
Here's a question for you. I'm going to have you answer this, and I'm going to answer this. What's your most memorable round of golf with me?
Oh, jeez. With you?
We played a few thousand.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's put me on the spot. I don't... There's probably a lot, but one that comes to mind that I thought was just a riot, and probably because I thought the whole facility was awesome and kind of breathtaking and just really unique, was Stream Song in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
That was having the caddy, kind of the fact of what it's built on the phosphate mines.
That place is special.
The gators, the bass, the golf.
We had kick-ass caddies, too.
Yeah, and the whole facility was awesome, and it was just fun, and like hearing the stories of the caddies and kind of the stories of that whole place. You know, Bandon Dunes comes to mind as well.
Yeah,
obviously
awesome.
we've had some good rounds in California, and then the one place we went with Callaway in San Diego,
Crosby Club. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. And obviously a lot of cool places here, Crystal Downs and Open Hills and those kind of things. Yeah.
The one that sticks out to me still is Baltusrol.
Oh,
when
gosh.
Callaway took us to Baltusrol.
I blocked that out of my head. That was the day I should have hit all 8 irons. Literally
we got to play with
myself.
Then we got to play with Glenn Hickey and Steve Conley, right?
Yeah.
So we got to play with our regional, and we got to play with the president of Callaway
Greg
Golf.
Brown.
Yeah, and Greg Brown was there, and this story, the joke I'm about to say, that story I'm about to say, could be its own podcast, but it's the only time I've ever seen Andy tip the caddy his golf bag. He literally tipped the caddy his golf bag. His bag fell apart on the last hole, or one of the last holes. The bottom literally fell off, and it was a beautiful Callaway staff bag. And
it was old, though.
It was old, no question, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it had your name on it.
Yeah.
It was a great caddy. Remember,
yeah.
He was great. And he hit it right here. Give me about 60%. And he would tell you what club to hit, and the guy was just awesome. And the whole time he was complimenting Andy on his bag. Oh, I love that golf. This is the coolest golf bag I've ever seen. And so we got done. The bottom fell out. We were flying home, I think, that day or the next day. Because I remember we were loading right in the thing. And Andy literally he's like, you want my bag? The guy's like, sure. He gave it to him. It was like Andy gave him $1 million. It was about the hardest I've laughed.
Tape it up
in a parking lot. Yeah, he's like, I can restitch this. I can fix it. So that was incredible. And then this last one here is here's an interesting question, too. And this is put on by the staff here, but what's the best part about running a business with your brother? They said best, not worse. So.
Right. Well, a lot shorter list.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm sure we probably share a lot of the same thoughts, but the fact that we're both off of the same common goal, we're kind of equal parts of ownership, we're equal parts of caring, we're equal parts of family. It's just me and you and the family in terms of siblings. I think in this particular situation, it's worked good in our two personalities kind of being far from each other. We can get along and see eye to eye on many things, but many things our personality is way different. But a business, right, has a lot of different aspects to it. You need numbers guys, you need people to be detailed, you need people to be free flowing and talkative, you need salesmen, you need accountant type of people, dealing with salesmen in terms of our vendors, dealing with salesmen in terms of our staff, managing the internet, all these different things. You need different people with different personalities. And I think the good part about that is me and you complement each other probably 80 to 90% pretty good as that stuff goes in terms of handling all that stuff. And then obviously with the help of the other staff. But I think that part is easiest. And really at the end of the day, it's not like we're partners that are, from different families that we have other influence from our families kind of maybe pulling us in one direction or another. We're all kind of headed on the same pyramid toward the end. So that part I think is cool, and it makes things easy because when I do something you don't agree with or vice versa, I know that you're still going for the best that you can get.
Yeah, agreed. And I would say that I know lots of people that got siblings, whether they have just one, like what you and I, we just have each other, or whether they have 3 or 4 or whatever, they don't get to see them very often. Of course, I get to see you on a pretty regular basis, and that's nice. And now with your kids and my kids being involved, at least some, it's good to like just have family around. Like you said, when everybody's working towards a common goal, whether you get there in a completely different way, which you and I get there a completely different way, it is nice to know that everybody's working towards the same thing. They just got different ways of getting there, and you've opened my eyes to plenty of things, and I hope I've done the same thing to you. And it's been you learn from each other, and you don't always agree, and sometimes you just agree to disagree. But I couldn't agree more. And obviously, having mom and dad still around and alive and being helpful is a beautiful thing too. So here's the mailbag question, Andy. I might even let you take this one.
Oh boy.
This is a question from TikTok. The username is Kyle. So he got the name Kyle before anybody else. Just getting into golf and was recommended to get the Tour Max TX 500 set. My driver head cracked around 60 hits. I'm sorry, dude. This is a story of our lives. we have this one all the time. What driver do you recommend for beginners? So he must have bought an inexpensive set, Tour Max.
Tour Max sounds like a Dunham's or a Walmart thing or something.
Something like probably similar to what we sell.
We have entry level sets. Obviously, lots of them.
Yeah. So the question is, what driver do you recommend for beginners? So,
okay. So, not to be completely judgy, but I assume that set probably wasn't too god awful expensive. So like something that's a good driver in a value price. So, if you want to stay like say under $100, something like in a power built line or maybe an Orlamar. I like a power built Air Attack.
Yeah.
Something like that. We sell a lot of, and that's another spot where like you walk into Maple Hill or you call us. Sometimes on our eBay site, we have a lot of used trade-in drivers in that price point as well. Yeah. If you can step up a little bit in terms of cost, I would suggest anything under the Wilson line. An LP2, a D9, a Dynapower, probably Dynapower. You can get it for under a couple $100. Is a great driver and very forgiving. Wilson does a great job with their Pro Line stuff being really game improvement based. I'm sure you would agree. Yeah. And then I'd probably say second to that, something in a Cobra or even a Callaway clearance driver, a Callaway Maverick, a Callaway Epic Star, a Cobra Air X2. All those ones are going to be a higher quality than what you currently have and very forgiving, lightweight. In some of those cases, some of the ones I mentioned are adjustable, which will help you with the lefts and rights and those things. So a Wilson, Cobra, or Callaway in a price point you can afford or that you're willing to spend, that would be where I'd start.
And once in a while we'll get a deal on Tour Edge, something or other.
Yeah, Tour Edge makes. I didn't think about Tour Edge right away. That's another one that's good.
But their price have crept up a little. They're still reasonable, very reasonable. But once in a while you can get a closeout for in that 150 to 180 range, something like that. That's not too bad. So, so there's your answer, Kyle. I'm sorry your driver cracked. Only reason I laugh is because it happens to so many people, brother. So hang in there. You're not alone. And you can always come out and check out our used rack or, like Andy's saying, our closeouts. We have lots of closeouts. That's kind of where we got how we got where we are. But now we sell everything. So
if you got time to test clubs too, that's the best thing to do. If you can come out here to Maple Hill, West Michigan, go out to our range, take a few things in your price range, hit them, and buy what you like, what you hit the best.
And the last thing before we wrap it up is the Maple Spill. What's going on right now is the customer appreciation sale. It goes through September 2nd.
Yes.
And that we both kind of headed that up.
Yeah. Just end of August, kind of nearing the end of summer here, as sad as it is to say here in Michigan. We like to do like a customer appreciation. We do a deal on our golf course and some special deals on products. And then, once we get through Labor Day, we'll do a special thing for senior golfers, and then we'll do one final kind of year-end tent sale here in about a month at the end of September.
And then we also have going right now through August 31st. So by the time you're listening to this, not a lot of time left, but I'll play off of that too. We have a customer appreciation fitting promotion going right now where you get a free hat, towel, or 2 free sleeves of any golf ball you want now and through August 31st. And then not to fear. So if you're listening to this and it's past August 31st, 2025, we have another promo coming out in September that we're working on the final details right now. So that by the time you're listening to this, even if it is September, we've got a really, really cool promo coming up for getting fit in the launch kitchen and all that fun stuff as well. So, Andy, I thank you for coming on. And
I was just to say, as golf goes, those of you Maple Hill customers or fans out there, September, October, November, right up until Thanksgiving is when we slow way down and we kind of think way outside the box in terms of deals, pricing, promotions. We're always up to something, right? But this is the most aggressive time, and we got a lot of good golf left. Hopefully we golf right through Halloween
beautiful.
again.
It's so nice that it's not a billion degrees every single day. So, in closing, new episodes drop every other week. So to be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I also want to say one last quick thing, that we got our beautiful sign in here, and E and Caitlin did a great job with helping this. And we got our puppets, which is what our sons used the other day in that video that you might have seen. It kind of went semi-viral. So my puppet and Andy's puppet, and the boys were kind of mocking us.
Good-looking guy right there.
Yeah, they're very handsome, which is accurate. But yeah, we got a really cool sign, and these two worked really, really hard on that, and I'm really proud of it, and it looks great. So thank you all for listening. Please click subscribe wherever you're listening to this at, and until next time, we'll see you then.